Hey! Hello, Spurs fans. Paul the Hotspur hippie here. I was just enjoying my intro there. I try and create things that I would like to watch myself, and it's certainly working. But I hope you're all good. Hope you're all tickety boo. A few people drifting in because, of course, I'm an internet idiot. I started this 5 minutes before I scheduled it. No watch. I thought, oh well, let's just get going. So, a couple of things in the news of Spurs, and then I'll just get onto the comments and we'll see how we go for a chat. I mentioned that I did a video earlier today, and I mentioned about Ange Postecoglou did a quick thing for Opta Sport, and it was like an Ask Me Anything. So it's a moth. There was an Ask Me Anything thing with Ange, and the question and answer that really stood out for me was, if you could have any player past or present playing for you now, who would it be? And he picked Glenn Hoddle. He picked Glenn Hoddle. How about that, eh? See, he knows his onions, this guy. He knows his onions. He just gets better and better. I mean, for me, it's like two dreams merging. Because I've been a Tottenham supporter since what, 76, something like that. So what's that? It's a few years, isn't it? 47. Bloody hell, am I that old? And because I've been watching Ange for years, and I've seen the atmosphere and I see how he operates at clubs, I wanted him in for a while. But when it's happened and it becomes more meaningful to me, it's amazing. It's so much better than I even thought it would be. And just to hear him pick Glenn Hoddle, he could have picked Zinedine Zidane, even Puskás, who coached him. Could have picked anyone, but he picked the king of White Hart Lane. Hod is the king of White Hart Lane. Hoddle, waddle, hoddle, waddle. Who's the current king of White Hart Lane? Is it Son, or do they even sing that song anymore? Let me know in the comments. Who is the current king of White Hart Lane? Then I saw another bit of news. There was an FAB, a fan advisory board meeting with the Pooh Bars at Tottenham, and some of the answers that I've seen, a lot of waffle basically. But the FAB were doing. It sounds like they were doing a little bit of pointless grandstanding in one question, saying, "Oh, how much revenue is lost from Carabao Cup?" Let it go, man. Let it go. And okay, you get through to the next round. What if the next round is away at Manchester City? Then you get Butkus for that. And then Daniel Levy had this weird answer where he was almost doing a Winston Churchill. I just, I phase all that out because all I care about is the football. I don't care about all the politics and shenanigans. If the football's good, I'm happy. I'm I don't know, what do you call it? A flip-flop fan? Who coins these terms? A flip-flop fan would be someone who supports Arsenal one week and Tottenham the next. A flip-flop fan isn't someone who is like kind of ambivalent about the board, who just doesn't like them or wants this and then doesn't want them. I mean, I think all rich people are corrupt anyway. But it was weird. And the subject of ticket prices came up, and this is an important one because ticket prices at Tottenham are way too much. It's pricing a lot of people out following the club that they've taken on from when they're a kid. Sometimes it's when they've taken it on from parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents. Don't forget, we're 141 years old. 141 years of linked hands over all those years. All those players, all those supporters, managers, staff, groundspeople, everyone has made the club what it is today. It's an amazing achievement. It's still, despite the way it's owned, it all comes from grassroots. It all comes from grassroots. It doesn't matter to me in some ways who owns the club, because money's got into the game and and he's kind of knackered it a bit anyway. But the game is always and always will be about the supporters and the fans, and so for me, Tottenham Hotspur is the fans. That's it. And you're always going to have some charlatan that thinks they own it, but they're just custodians, because without us, they ain't got anything, have they? I had some nice comments on the videos I've been doing. Really appreciate them. I rarely reply to comments, but I do read them, and you know, it's nice to see people are enjoying what I'm doing. Thanks very much. Getting a few trolls in, they get the same treatment as everyone. They get the love heart and the thumbs up, and then it disappears from my list. Someone was saying, "Oh, I wasn't classy today because I was hoping Arsenal players get injured." I mean, like, my hope is going to affect reality, you know. Oh, bless them. But you know, even a trolly comment is an engagement, and it helps YouTube. So even if you don't like me and you comment, you're helping me out. So thanks, brother, or thanks, sister, or whatever you are. Thanks, fellow human being, resident of the planet Earth. Your vitriol is appreciated. So what I'll do is I'll just come on to the comments here. I'm enjoying, just before I'll wait for a few more people to come in. By the way, comments, if people start flooding in, which is unlikely because there's not many in here at the moment, but if people do start coming in, if you really want to attract my attention with a question or something, I'm the Nick Jacobs idea. Don't know if it's his idea, that's where I heard it though. And put a Q at the beginning. Then if there's loads of comments, it just helps me pick them out, and I'll try and get to as many as I can. Super chats and memberships are available if you want to help the channel out, but put a Q and I'll make as much effort to get to it, because this is Hotspur hippie. You know, I appreciate people supporting the channel, but I don't want to ignore people that either don't want to or can't. You know, it's not a democracy, it's a Hotspur hypocrisy. You know, just look at my channel figures and stats in the YouTube admin thing, whatever it's called. It's going really well. I can't. It's amazing. Just something I started when I couldn't work has given me a lot of hope, and just from people watching, basically. You know, whether you chip in or not, it's really helped me out. Now I've been back at work for about a week, and things are looking so much better. I can afford a kebab if I want to, or a curry or something like that. These little things, you know, when you've been doing it tough for a few months, a little bit of money makes you feel like the richest man on earth. So, but this channel has it really helped me during that hard period. And now that I'm working again and driving around, it gives me something to think about while I'm driving around. I'm really excited about it. So, you know, I'm driving, you know, traffic or whatever, and all I'm thinking of is, you know, what could I put together for a video today that would be interesting, and, you know, and it makes the day go a lot quicker. So your support, whether you're just looking at me, that's all cool. If you've clicked like and subscribe, that's great as well. If you're a member or done super chats, it's all brilliant. But it's whatever. Look, whatever you lot are doing, I don't care what it is, but it's working. It's working. It's wonderful. So you've made me very happy, everyone, and I'm glad I'm entertaining some people. And it's also, you know, in lull moments where there's not many, because I do Uber driving, when there's not many fares. Before I used to sort of pull over and get bored, whereas now I'm pulling over and doing a bit of video editing. I've tidied up the intro and outro, put a few things together, and yeah, it scratches my creative itch. I've always had a creative itch, and it's nice to have an outlet for it about something I love, you know, which is Tottenham Hotspur, who I don't know if anyone's ever told you is by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. So thanks, everyone. I will never take it for granted that you all choose to spend some time watching me, you know, for whatever reason. It tickles me. So thanks very much, everyone. That's why I don't like badgering people to like and subscribe, because it's the way it's going is well enough. I don't have to bollock people, you know. Lily White Lane, I'll get on. Let's do some chat, eh? Let's do some chat. Lily White Lane, morning, Paul. Lost my 4-year-old dog over the weekend. Sorry for your loss, man. Sorry for your loss. Spurs gave me that bit of joy I really needed. It's the power of football, isn't it? But you know, when it's going well, you know, on that, I was you know, driving around a bit today. Usually I listen to the Beatles, but you know, with passengers in it, sometimes everyone starts singing. It's an amazing thing. You get strangers singing the same song. It's wonderful. But I was listening to A View from the Lane, Danny Kelly's podcast, which it's about the only one I listen to. I listen to, as far as podcasts go, I listen to A View from the Lane and the Spurs Show. I've tried a few others. I don't have much time to listen to. You know, I prefer podcasts outside of Tottenham, and but those are the two. But Danny Kelly was talking about a similar thing, Lily White Lane, about how, you know, he's lost a couple of people this year. It's what happens when you get older, you know. I know your dog isn't a person, but you know, it's a similar grief that you've had, man. You know, and it's just amazing how football can, you know, lift you out of that and elevate you, and you know, or distract you, get you in a positive frame of mind. And you know, when the football's wonderful, as we've been enjoying this year, it's a very powerful thing. And you know, when we're all together going in the same direction, you don't feel alone, because people all over the world, the last stat I saw, and I don't know if this is complete rubbish, but there's 180 million Spurs supporters around the world. So there's 180 million people out there, and I think the vast majority of them it's making their lives better at the moment. And that's the wonderful thing about the human condition, the human spirit, that we've taken such a, you know, if you take all the emotion out of it, it's a silly pastime, isn't it? There's no emotion in it. Who cares if someone can kick that round thing in the net? It doesn't matter, doesn't it? But we've made it important, you know. And you know, I'm glad to see that it's helped you out a bit, man. A bit of joy I really needed. Loving everything about this team. They're so together and give 100%, and that's half the battle, isn't it? You know, we're, apart from us playing not so good football in recent seasons, when you get the impression that they're not trying, and it's a fair impression, I think, because I've heard ex-players voice similar things, saying, you know, they're not on it, or one phrase I heard was they think they're too cool for school. That's like a kick in the guts, because the downside is of football is when you see people not trying, then I know with me personally, I can't speak for anyone else, it does get me down. It does get me down. Makes me think, you know, I'm wasting my time, you know, but I can't help it. I'm already in. So, Lily White Lane, I'm once again, you know, I'm sorry for your loss, man. But I'm glad the Ange Postecoglou's Blue and White Army is helping out a bit here. Roy, actually, Lily White Lane, are you? Oh no, Lily White Rose. I was thinking of. Sorry, Roy. Hello. Oh, man, you're testing my eyesight here, because I'm doing this on a phone, because my PC is knackered, so I can't do anything really flash when I'm streaming. But that's a peace sign, and I don't know, but thanks, man. Oh, morning, Paul. Okay, all right. Well, maybe that was hieroglyphics for morning. Morning, Roy. Kim62, great. Have managed to be in. Oh, right. Okay. Here we go. Welcome. You got up early, man. Good. Hope you've recovered after your holiday. Kim62, member of the Hotspur commune. Thanks very much for your support, man. Great to have managed to be in the chat from the start. I've been catching your streams on catch up, and as always, they just make me feel good. Oh, well, that's, you know what, and that's my intent. You know, I'm not here to make people feel angry. You know, there's enough of that whole crap out in the world, and, you know, feistiness and aggro. And my latest statistic for you is that, and I base this on Uber ratings, who gives me less than 5 stars, 4% of people are not very nice. And it only takes 4% to knacker the whole planet. But I'm glad you're enjoying it, Kim. Kim's been around from the beginning. Kim's an old lag supporter, and I love hearing. Looks like a lot of my viewers are of your vintage and my vintage, and I love that, man. It means, to me, that means I'm doing something right, you know. You know, when we lose 5 games on a row, might not be so positive, but you might as well make hay while the sun shines and enjoy it while it's good. Liam Hennessy, he supported Liverpool as a kid. He'll probably go there when Klopp leaves. That is that's something I've mentioned before, Liam. Like I was fearful that he wouldn't come to Spurs from Celtic because of that reason, and luckily we got him. I'm hoping that he'll stay around for a bit. We got him for 4 years, and hopefully Klopp will. I was of the mind that maybe Klopp's past it at Liverpool, but I'm hoping he stays. I really do, because that's a fear, you know. That is a fear. Ian Barron, g'day, man. Morning, everyone. Everyone watching, hope you're well and having a great day. I certainly am, man. I certainly am. Hotspur Hippie, you're the king of YouTube. Well, you know, I'll take that. But king of what? YouTube's a funny old place, isn't it? Caption Grandma, another member of the Hotspur Hippie commune. Oh, no, yeah, I can see you talking to people. I'm going to skip those. Remember, if you're just coming in, because some of the streams I've been doing, I've got like lots of viewers. Maybe this one won't. So I'll probably go for about an hour tonight. I think I can manage the chat. If it starts creeping up, just put a cue at the beginning so that'll attract my attention. Ian Barron, lockdown has changed a lot of people. Yeah. I was all head shaved, like, you know, I was like a cue ball. But I thought, you know, let's see what life's in there. What hair can I grow? It's all coming out my ears, out my nose, eyebrows are like that, which is handy in the sun, because if I forget my sunglasses, I can peer up through my eyebrows. It's nature's sunglasses, nature's Ray-Bans. But yeah, lockdown has changed. I thought it might change people for the better, but sadly not. Chem62 Ange is such a special human being. Like, you know, it's funny. Like, I was having a chat. It's something I chat to about a good mate of mine, a guy called Mountain Bushman, who pops in the comments from time to time. Yes, he is. I agree, but it's also that he's just bloody normal. You know what I mean? He's just a humble, normal guy, and you know, it's strange that football's become such a game that people like that are rare, where they used to be more the norm. So I guess he's special because you know, there's not many like him. But to me, he's just normal. It's the way, you know. Could not love the man anymore when he comes out with gold comments. Who would you have in your team from the past? And he chose Hoddle. I know. He knows, man. Ange knows. Perfect answer. Milner Brigger, hello. Howdy, Paul. Hope you're well. Spurs 3-0 against Arsenal. What? This is a big old prediction. Son, Von der Ven, and Destiny. I suppose Von der Ven, has he scored? Well, he scored an own goal, doesn't he? Which, who cares, you know, because he's a brilliant defender. But maybe he's got a bit of a shot in him. I'm just going to get comfy here. Driving all day, man. Oh, just going to stretch my back a little bit. Caption Grandma, g'day, Paul. Hello again. Oh, you're saying hello to me because I was butting in a conversation. Sorry about that, man. I want Spurs to beat the best team that Woolwich can put out. Yeah, but, you know, if someone get injured, I think it'd be funny because, like, I'm not injuring myself. I'm not telling Tottenham players to do the injuring. But if they come up against an obstacle, I'll take any advantage, any advantage. Doesn't matter. I think we could beat them at full strength, but it'll weaken their chances. So I don't feel guilty about it. If I did have the power to affect reality, then I wouldn't obviously hope for it. But because I'm just some muppet on a moth-eating couch in Sydney, or I just say whatever, I'm not serious injuries, just a bit of a little tweak, not Achilles or anything like that, just enough for a bit of a knock. Darlington FC is a fan-owned volunteer club. Without the fans and volunteers, there would be no Darlington FC. It takes about 30 volunteers to help a game go ahead. This sounds like quite a reasonable number. I hope you achieve that regularly. But it's nice, grassroots football. That's the way all clubs started, wasn't it? Just a bunch of people getting together and making a football club. And, the way the world is, that's kind of been sucked away. But there's still local football, like, my local team, Gladesville Ride Magic, the Mighty Magic, finished fourth or fifth in New South Wales Division 3. But it don't matter because it's fun. You just go there and have a laugh, and the stakes are low. YouTube. Oh, I'm not going to say that. Not going to say that. Guy upstairs might not be happy if I say that, man. Absolute bore. First derby for almost all the players. Oh, is that right? So who we got? Let's just go. I'll just go through the 11. I'll pick on my head. So Vicario, new. Udogi, new. Van der Ven, new. Romero, old. Pedro Porro. We played Arsenal after January, didn't we? Madison, new. Basuma could be new as Basuma and Sarr. Okay, let's give those two as well. And then up front, let's say Solomon. Richarlison not new. Brennan Johnson. Hey, man. Yeah, no, good point. Good point. Hopefully they're up for it. I think who was it that was saying? I saw it somewhere. But was it Coover that was saying it on my channel the other night? I heard someone talk about it. Can't remember now, but they were saying that Arsenal seem to get up for the derbies more than Tottenham do, which I think is a fair point. In recent years, we've had the odd thing, and maybe at home we've done all right. But I think Arsenal in the derbies, even though our league position has been better, they seem to rise to the occasion. They punch above their weight. Might not always get the result, but they're having a go. So maybe that's something in our favour. Absolute ball. They haven't. They're up. They might be up for it. Interesting. I hadn't thought of that. Hang on. Ben Williams. Morning, evening, Paul. How are we doing? I'm doing fantastic, man. Doing fantastic. It doesn't take much to make me happy. Sometimes it does, but at the moment things are good, so I might as well make hay while the sun shines. I've had a good week at work, driving around the nice sunshine, not beautiful weather for driving, nice air-conditioned car, paid my overdue rent today. Yeah, back of the net, and things are looking up, man. Things are looking up. Ian Barron, can all trolls like and subscribe and send a super sticker and a super chat? It baffles my mind, It's just like I probably watch more YouTube than TV. No, I definitely watch more YouTube than TV. Not just Tottenham, but a whole range of subjects. Bit of science, bit of pop culture, bit of this, bit of that. Whatever rabbit hole I go down to, go down. But if there's something that doesn't tickle my fancy, I just go and watch something else. But something, just think, it's amazing. It's amazing. That's why, I'm kind of standoffish with comments. So I don't get too bogged down in it. It's like, well, if you don't like what I'm doing and you're writing sometimes really long thing, I was thinking, well, that's not my fault. It's not my fault you're spending time to write me a horrible comment, isn't it? I mean, that's on you. So, just thumbs up, love heart, disappears. Chem62, you brighten our day. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I always thank you for helping me understand the appointment of Ange and your enthusiasm of the man. You would have got there on your own, man. Yeah, everyone's got there. Look, there's what call it 60,000 supporters at White Hart Lane. They've all got it. But thanks anyway, man. And your enthusiasm helped me get on the Ange train. Then he just took over. Well, he's done better than I expected, man. So, what do I know? I thought he'd be good, but, Irish Hotspur. Hello, Dave. Hello, man. I hope I'm well, man. I'm very well. I'm living the life of Riley. I'm really looking forward to doing the pre-match pump up with you on the weekend, man. I'm pumped. I can't wait. Yossarian, actually, if you haven't subscribed to the Irish Hotspur, it's one of my favourite channels, man. One of my favourite channels, and that was the first time I popped up on YouTube talking about Tottenham, was because I enjoyed Dave and Jack's channel so much, and they were doing a fan call-in show, and I thought, you know what, let's, because I'm quite a private person, believe it or not, I'm quite an introvert. I thought, you know what, I'll stick my head above the parapet. And they were the best hosts you gave me a great experience, and so it's been great. And I love watching them. Yossarian, evening, Paul and hippies. Can't remember where, but I've heard you're going to do me. You're going to. I'm waiting for it. Who are you going to do? Are you going to do me or someone else? Yeah. Can't remember where, but I've heard. I'm reading this with. I can't rinse my eyes, squint my eyes because my eyesight isn't good enough, but I've heard several times recently that Tottenham Hotspur are the greatest football club. I don't know where. Maybe it's the number of times I've sung it in the stadium. Maybe that's got. Maybe you've heard those chants. Loving the new intro and outro. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I've also I've tidied up the coming Spurs the intro. I redid it, but I forgot to upload the. You'll see the outro when I go. It looks a bit nicer. So, that's what I've been, but my motto in life is, people say the last 10% takes 90% of the time. Well, I think, well, sod that. I'll just do 90% and I can get 9 or 10 times the amount of stuff done. But there's some things I get a bit picky about. Sometimes, 90% is good enough, but I like to still improve things. But thanks, man. Thanks for being here, Sarah. And you've been here pretty much since the beginning as well, man. It's cool. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss there, man. Don't want to. Oh, here we go. Welsh gal. Big up, Paul. Borada. Love your channel. Always great to catch you live. Yeah, man. Very exciting time. Whereabouts in America did you go to, by the way? Glad you're back on the road and can get yourself some proper cordial. Not only that, but I pull over at the side of the road and I think, I'll have a sandwich, and I can buy a sandwich. I tell you what, I was on bugger all money. I really was, but it was doable, and thanks to the viewers of the channel, it sort of gave me something to look forward to as well. But now happy days are here and I'm really excited. Question: favorite Beatles album? You know what? It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. Right now, my answer tomorrow might be different. I would go for I like Help. I like Help. It's kind of the bridge between, you know, them starting out and them getting fancy a little bit. I love some of the songs on it. I like Rubber Soul as well. Just those two at the moment spring to mind. Yeah. Rubber Soul and Help. They're all great though. They're all great. And tomorrow I might say Revolver or something like that. But right now, there's songs that are grabbing me on those albums. Ian Barron, I'm 49. I feel old. Oh, that's a shame, man. I'm 51 and I still feel like I'm, you know, 17, up to no good. NA. Locked on from London, coming Spurs. Them mugs down the road. Don't know what's coming. I know, man. I know. It's going to be an avalanche of football. That's what it's going to be. Keith, it was like your honesty and passion, Paul. Well, you know, what else am I going to talk about? Milton Brigger. Spurs is back. He's on track for the treble. Oh, well, of course, yeah. We don't forget the Tiger Cup, which is why I started 5 minutes early, so some of you missed it. In, you know, my 5-minute countdown, I thought I'd make the last minute a bit more interesting to look at. So I've put all our 17 major trophies with a couple of photos in between. And at the end, I've just put the Tiger Cup win, just to, you know, laugh. Hopefully, it won't be long before I get to replace that. William Volsterman, Ange is loving life at Spurs. He certainly looks like it, doesn't he? You can see it. Daniel Levy got him for nothing. Yeah, well, you know, he's got, you know, he did a good deal there. He did a good thing for us. Ange's value has gone through the roof. I know. Now that everyone's seen him. But you know what? There's hang on, sorry, I'll come back in a second. But you know, there's still a lot of I mentioned in the video today, like Pratt, Rory Jennings. I mean, I was going to go on for a whinge longer about him and that kind of football fan, but I don't know. I mean, is that really worth making a clip of on TalkSport? Rory Jennings slagging off Tottenham. Is that really of interest to anyone? I didn't watch it. I just saw the thumbnail, and I thought, is that really the best you've got, TalkSport? Him going on about how he hates Tottenham yet again. God, he's such a bell end. It's funny, you know. I was thinking about. I will come back to. You know, there's a lot. I see a lot of these new, and I'm not talking about any Tottenham fan or Tottenham channel here at all. You know, sort of that kind of ilk where they're all sort of, you know, they talk about each other like they're friends from opposing teams, but the minute one of them faces any adversity for a comment they might make, they ditch them. And okay, well, are you really friends, or are you just saying that? To me, friendship is something a lot more deeper than just being a YouTube pal, you know. Okay, here we go. You're sorry, and how'd you go? And yeah, look, I gave it a. Okay, sorry, I'll read it out because there's probably just people listening to this as well. How'd you go with your listen of Stone Cold by Barnsey and Bonamassa Paul? I gave it a go, man. It didn't grab me. Well, not unfortunately, it just didn't grab me. I tried. Nah, not for me. Hit or a miss. It was a miss for me. Not a bad nickname for our boss, Stone Cold Ange Postecoglou. I don't mind that at all, man. Love how you balanced yet passionate. I love how balanced yet passionate he is. Yeah, he's just a normal. This was what people used to be like, just normal, before everyone just communicated through electronic devices. And it's a hotspur hypocrisy. I know I'm doing it right now, but if it's there, I'm going to use it, just like everyone else. But I don't think it's good for. I don't think it's good for the world. But bugger it. In for a penny. Paul, does Milton and Breger says, Paul, does Eric Dyer look in the mirror and say, I'm rubbish? And I've been caught out. No, he doesn't. I think he's delusional, man. Keith Edwards, I'll take a draw. I'll take whatever happens on the day, man. It's funny, you know, it's one of those things, and I hear a lot of people say, would you take the 4 points now? Or say the Arsenal game, would you, like you're saying, would you take a draw? Well, no, I'll take 3. But it's like, if you could take 1 now and not have to play the game and risk a loss, would you do that? But no, I want 3. Joe Trimboli, evening, Paul. Do you think we can beat Arsenal this week? I definitely. Oh man, boy, do I think we can beat Arsenal. There's no doubt in my mind we can beat Arsenal. I'm running out of Coke. Just going to get another. I bought a. This is how affluent at the moment. I've got my fridge stocked with a few cans. Need to get a bit of caffeine into me to wake up a bit. If you just bear with me a moment, there's a few people in here. I think I'm keeping up okay with the chance, but you know, if you put a cue at the beginning, just to grab my attention, that'd be cool. Because the other night there was loads of people in here. It was like, you know, the most views I've had on a live stream, and I just couldn't keep up with the comments, and I didn't know what to read and what not. So you know, if you put a cue in, or if you do a super chat, but I'm a hippie, man, so just do a queue and I'll try and get to you as well. I'm just going to grab a top up and I'll be back with you in a second, folks. Professional streamer. Oh. All righty. Got you all stayed. Well, okay, thanks, folks. Oh, I'm going. I want to go and watch Red Letter Media. Fine channel. Yeah, so yeah, definitely we can beat them. I think it's a good test, though, isn't it? It's a good test, you know. It's a good measure. It's a good measure, and I think it's some our fixtures so far have been a good mix. We've had some. I don't know if gimme is the ever the right word in the Premier League, but a lot of away games is always tough. Beating Man United at home was great. I know Man United are an absolute basket case at the moment, but it's still Man United. It's nice to be a big team. That was something Rory Jennings was going on about. Who've they played? Well, who've you played, Chelsea? It's great. I want to see them get relegated out of the Football League. Milton O'Brega, let's give Arsenal the lasagna treatment. Well, you know, let's do that. Shame on you for wishing illness on them. See, don't matter, does it? It's not going to make them ill. Ben Williams, after the debut comments by whichever pundit was saying no Spurs player would get in a scum first 11, how many players would you put in? Okay, good question. Let me have a think about this. Let me give you my combined Tottenham, Arsenal 11. Okay, let me think. Combined Tottenham, Arsenal 11. I would go Vicario, Udogie, Van der Ven, Romero, Pedro Porro, James Maddison, Yves Bissouma, Pape Matasara, Saurus Rex, Solomon, Richarlison, Son, or whatever. None of them are getting in. None of them. No quarter given to the Gooners. And people do videos discussing that with Arsenal fans. What's the point? What's the point discussing it with an Arsenal fan? There's no point in compromising. It's always going to be one-eyed, isn't it? In fact, the last time, you know, going back to your question here, not the last time, there was a time. You've struck a memory with me, and it was the last time. It was the last time I was in the UK, which was 2012, and I was at a friend's house, and we were watching a Tottenham Arsenal or Arsenal Tottenham game, and we were playing under Harry Redknapp at the time. We were flying quite well. This is when we were really going. We were high. This is before the wheels fell off for Harry and the team. And I remember they were having this discussion in the studio on TV about, well, what Arsenal players were getting to the Tottenham 11. Is, not many. And we were 2-0 up at half time and lost the game 5-2. That's all. Baba. I'm trying not to swear so much. So I'll say words like Baba because YouTube has finally seems to trust me doing live streams, which is great because I could see my advertising revenue like double, gone from like $2 to $4. So I don't want to bite the hand that feeds me. Baba, muddy funsters. So none of them are getting in, Ben. Milton Abrego, I follow Wollongong Wolves. Oh, okay. Our motto is, have you been bitten yet? That's my pub league team. Brilliant, man. Brilliant. Oh, hello, Chris. I haven't seen you for a while, man. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Met at Football TV. Go over and subscribe to him as well. Let me do. Caption Grandma, do you drive your own car? No, I rent one. It just takes so much effort out of it, Uber insurance is expensive if you break down and all that. And I've had a car crap out on me. So I'm not saying it's the cheapest way to do it, but when things go wrong, which they have done for me, it's like, oh, I'm so glad I rent. Plus it makes tax and things so much easier. But I drive a Toyota Prius. That's my car of choice because it uses no petrol at all. Smell of an oily rag. Welsh gal. I've met both Dave and Jack from the Irish Hospital. Yeah, well, hopefully, at the moment that's a long way away for me. Oh, there's a starred thing, but I hope to do it eventually. And it'd be nice. It'd be nice to meet up with. It'd be nice to meet up with Dave and Jack at a game. That'd be pretty cool. So as soon as I get about, I don't know how much that cost. I don't even know how much flights are to get to the UK and back now. I don't know, 3,000. And then you're talking about farting around a bit, another 1,000. I call it $5,000. Yeah, long way off, but not impossible. Not impossible. David Shear, yeah, it's Shear, isn't it? David Shear, member for 1 month, man. Thanks for renewing. Thank you very much, man. Well done on your podcast, Paul. 6 points next to. That's it. That's the spirit, man. No, there's 4 points and I'll be happy. 6 points, man. That's what we want. That's what we want. Optimism. If I really, if people out there aren't listening to the View from the Lane podcast, it's my favourite, man. Danny Kelly. I've listened to him on the radio for 30 years, and he's a really top guy, Tottenham through and through, and he's a romantic supporter like me, and I feel like a lot of you in the chat are as well. Paul, it's because you live in Australia, mate. Most people are real over there. Wow, over here, people are all over the world, man. People are all over the world, and there's a lot of BS everywhere. Eastern suburbs of Sydney. Dave Shearer, I can't wait to see them eat their own. I think I can say crap. God, crap's not a bad word. Yeah, what you're going you're going like an Arsenal human centipede, an 11-man human centipede. That'd be revolting, man. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry, conversation. Oh, David Shear, of course. So, sorry, you're right, man. You're right, man. Because I tend to watch. It's called the Steve Perriman podcast, but I tend to watch it on YouTube. But it's all available on podcast as well. But yes, you're right. The Steve Perriman podcast. What a gentleman! He's fantastic, fantastic. He's like, I don't know. He's one of those guys that stands out, and he's always got good things to say. He's very concise with his words. That's what I like about Steve Perriman. He just cuts to the core of things, and also he's taken a stand so far. I don't know if this will change, but he's not like a club ambassador or anything like that, because he likes to be able to be free to voice his opinion, which he doesn't abuse. Like, he's not slagging off the club and anything like that, but when things aren't right, he likes to be able to say so. But Steve Perriman is fantastic. He's, yeah, wonderful. I'd love to have him on this channel someday. Actually, if I was to pick one person, I think Steve Perriman would be it, because I think he's got a good story. And when you're talking about Steve Perriman, he kind of spans the eras in Tottenham. He goes all the way from the 60s to the 80s. He's been through those successful periods as well. Well, late 60s maybe he joined I think he joined it, started playing in 69, 69. But that early period in the 70s where he was just an engine pair of legs, and then he became captain and defensive masterclass at fullback. He was always, when he got a ball off a player, it wasn't just getting it, safe out in the touch, which I don't have a problem with. If a player can do that reliably, I think it's great. But he was always getting it with a view to where can he get the ball to next. And you don't get to be captain for that long. I think he was 11 years captain, just like Gary Mabbott was, without being something special. So yeah, Steve Perriman, wonderful. Big smile, David Shaw. Tadir is Taru. Tadir is Taru. Yeah, I'm old school, man. I like Aldareas Fakare. Aldareas Fakare. Hang on, I've got my old Spurs kit here, which I. Oh yeah, here we go. Look at this. See? Oh, it's not going to. Where's the camera there? I can't even. Anyway, our proper motto is Latin. And I know Latin's a bit, but it's something magic. Aldareas Fakare, Tadir is to do. Now it's just, to me, seeing Tadir is to do everywhere is like when they changed ATMs. Instead of it saying withdrawal, it now says get cash out. It's kind of just an idea. I want to see Arsenal field their best team and Spurs to demolish them and demoralise them. Oh, well, I just want to beat them. I just want to beat them. And if Arsenal are demoralised because they've got a couple of players out, I don't care, because they're Arsenal players. David Shear, Steve said we don't need the Tony drama at Spurs. Oh, really? I might have missed that. Where was that on a podcast? I listened to his podcast. I can't recall him saying that. Was that somewhere else, man? But I think that's a point. I think it's a fair point. Especially as what was Tony saying? There's something that Tony said that I really disagreed with. I think he was talking about because he was. I might have this completely wrong. Box of ducks. But I think it was when he was talking about betting on yourself to win, and I don't think that's right. Look, I've got a huge moral and religious problem with gambling, but if you're a gambler and you're betting on yourself to win, that's giving you an advantage, because that's the thing that gets you going. I've known gamblers, and I've seen gamblers, the way that it gives you that endorphin rush, and even when you're betting on yourself, I still don't think that's right. I really don't. And he seemed to be very not in denial, kind of dismissive of some of the charges, or he's betting on things that don't, that he's not involved with. Yeah, but friends of his are, or other people are. It's just, I just don't think it's too much to ask to it's a no-brainer. If you're playing in sport, just don't do it. Don't gamble. There's plenty of time when you retire. If that's your thing, I say I don't like it at all. But you know, but then again, people have problems with it as well. I'm not dismissing it and saying that everyone that gambles is a bad person or anything, because it's all pervasive at the moment. Kids are getting brainwashed younger and younger into it. Every time I listen to a podcast, every time I watch anything on YouTube, there's always a gambling advert, and you know, it actually sticks in my craw that probably when some people are watching my stuff, they're getting a gambling advert before I've sent a message to YouTube, like, can I just opt out of having gambling companies? And I've had no response, but I really like that. But you know, at least wait till you've retired. Then you can have 60 years of throwing your money down the pan instead of giving it to charity or doing something better with it. But no, it's judgmental, because people do get addicted to it, and it's not always their fault. Otis West Fitness, unusual name. Maybe I'm mad, but I have no fear for Sunday. Hurrah! I nearly feel like I used to when they were coming to ours, and I knew we were going to win. I think we could win by at least 2 goals. Just keep calm and play. Let's get carried away, man. I started off yesterday at 3-0. I'm still at 3-0 at the moment, but come the weekend, that's when I get silly. I get silly because I just like to dream a bit. And if we could do them by like 6 goals or so. No, 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 what the hell? What the hell? 6-0. Not going to affect anything. Broken Ribs finally in a live chat. Hey, mate. G'day, man. No, nice to see you. David Shearer is the first podcast. Oh, Steve Perryman, first podcast this season. Oh, man, listen. Well, it was a while ago. Now my memory's rubbish. So okay, fair enough. Yeah. I'd agree with that. Well, if Steve says it's good enough for me, man. Of all the managers in the EPL, says Milton O'Bregor, who would be the toughest in a pub fight? Ange would win. Well, he's got no fear, has he? I heard Jar Wobble talk about something similar to that when he pops up. I really do enjoy listening to Jar Wobble talk. And for me, it's kind of one of those things where, I haven't, as far as musicians I like and what teams they support, I haven't had much luck. Like the big one, like the Kinks. One of my favourite groups is the Kinks, but they support Arsenal. That hurts me a little bit. Some Sex Pistols and Public Image Limited I like as well. John Lydon, Arsenal. Ugh. But Jar Wobble, who I like, who I think is he's a brilliant bass player. I really like what he does. I only found out it would have been like last season. He's a Spurs fan. And he's like, okay. I feel a little bit of, the scale, the scales in the universe are equalising a little bit. But he was talking about Ange, the way he just comes in to a club with no one, and he said it's like he's just gone into the pub on his own and he can handle himself. So I think you might be right, Milton. I think Ange Postecoglou. I mean, like we didn't get Nagelsmann. You could blow him over with a straw. False motivation, maybe. Yeah, it's just. I don't know. Look, it's not just him though. It's society. it's getting worse. It's getting worse. So, and I don't blame individuals that do that. It's just everywhere, everywhere. Anything to do with sport, and the way they're advertising. There's a gambling company in Australia. I blank it out, and I wouldn't even mention their name because I don't want to give them any free publicity. But their whole thing is like, like you're there with your mates. You might be at a barbecue or something like that, and they're kind of implying if you're not having a bit of a flutter, you're missing out on a bit of friendship. And I think it's so manipulative, disgusting. Just an idea, 1969-1970 season, Steve P was in the youth team. Oh, the one, the FA Cup versus Coventry, yes. Graham Souness was in that. And I think it was John Pratt was the captain. Paul, can we get a definition of box at ducks? It's just like my brain. It's just, it's just garbage. I just think of a box of ducks. They're just all quacking, no malice or anything, but they're just all just being silly and quacking, and there's no rhyme or reason. It's a bit chaotic, and I like to think of it that way because I think it levels me. I think there's an inclination in people to think. And me included, like something or you remember something clearly, and really, if you look at any sort of neuroscience or whatever, our brains are so imperfect, but we kid ourselves. So I like to just remind myself that I am an absolute idiot, and I mean that in a good way. I'm not being self-deprecating or anything like that, but we're not perfect, and it's all silly, and life is just absurd. So yeah, just box the ducks, just going quack. Dr. Tottenham. Dr. Tottenham has returned. Richarlison will come good. There's signs of it, isn't there? Again, this is they talked about this on View from the Lane podcast, and I like what they talked about. He's not the most technically gifted, but he's a fighter's mentality, which is what I like about him. Yeah, definitely. I think every Spurs fan is hoping he comes good. And it sounds like, from what they're saying on the View from the Lane podcast, and I did a video about this the other day, and I like to think that I was right. Box of ducks, so I might be wrong. But, because it seems to be a bit of I don't know, a bit of I don't know what the right way to describe it is. Well, when people bring up mental health, there's a big difference between mental health, whatever condition you might have, and going through the trials and tribulations of life. It's like just because you're, distressed over something that's happening in your life, which could be a financial or a health or bereavement or betrayal or whatever it is, that is different to mental health. It can lead to the other, but everyone has bumps in the road, and so I was just taking what Richarlison said at face value. He said he thought his football was all right, but he's got this stuff going on that he wants to get help with and get sorted out. And that doesn't mean that he's got some sort of, like pathological inability to deal with bad events that happen in your life. That's just bloody normal. So it looks like that might be the case, which I think is really, really cool. On the other hand, you can have mental health issues and still perform at a very, sometimes perform at a genius level in football. There's plenty of footballers like that. I just find a bit of hypocrisy when people talk about mental health. I really do. There's a campaign in Australia, and it's called "Are You OK?" So one day of the year, you know, people are told, especially, you know, it's all about the work environment, to ask a colleague, are you okay? Like that's going to fix anything. Are you okay? You know, you're sitting in a cubicle, your boss comes up and says, are you okay? And you say, yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Even though you've got maybe God knows what's going on in your brain or what's going on in your life. And your boss thinks, yeah, I can tick that box. We've done our mental health bit. And it's just so rubbish. I know someone who, someone said, are you okay? He says, no, I've been self-harming. I'm not saying a friend is in it, it was me, but I've been and it's like, oh, okay, right. Just got a meeting to go to. So, you know, if people were really honest in those sort of situations, maybe things would change, but people are just bullshitting all the time, just lip service. But there is a difference between mental health and, you know, temporary crisis in life. Broken Ribs, game will be open. Will be open against the other lot this Sunday. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see plenty of goals. Already think our defence is better than theirs. 3-1 us for a Charleston score. Why not, man? Why not? That'd be cool. All right, now I've been going over an area. I'll just whip through some comments here. Oh wow, there's a God. You lot have been typing like box of ducks. Same here, Paul. AFL have a huge problem. Oh, I see. This why I call it a box of ducks, man. I can't remember what I was saying. Hey, hello, Tagaro. SPT, you're going to see your name in the lights at the end of this stream. I've updated the thing and I've got it looking better as well, I think. Thanks for your support, man. Well, no, Brego, I wish Arsenal had Maguire score more own goals. That Maguire, he's on a nice fat wage packet. Oh, it is West Fitness. I love this channel. Keep up the great work, Paul. Thanks very much, man. Thanks very much. Trying to do it my own way, you know. Trying to do something that I would enjoy watching. Inner B? I know you're a member and everything, man. Hang on. Daesh, he's gone, hasn't he? I mean, I just saw something flash up on my phone. He's been sacked, doesn't he? I think. The game on Saturday, what I loved was the way fans got behind the team. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful. When we won 1-0 down, just so refreshing that positivity in the stadium makes a fantastic experience. Yeah, I love it, man. David Shear, Billy Thorpe and the Aztecs are awesome, Paul. I would concur with you on that one. Yes, definitely. Mr. M, hey hippie, big up, bro. Thanks very much. Time is at your end. It's 8:13 p.m. Oh, here we go. Oh, just a little slip. We all slip out on the old thing. I've done it so many times, man. Worst thing is when you bugger up a live chat comment and you hit delete, it still shows up on my thing. So you might have thought, oh no, I've looked like a, or maybe you don't care. In a punch on, each Premier League manager would fight like their team. Ange would never give up. That's very true. That's very true. So I was trying to think of something funny to say, but I'm getting tired, man. Getting tired. But I think your point is valid. Arna, who says, yeah, exactly. Welsh Gal, Kenneth Brenner is a Spurs fan. I knew I liked him. Yeah, there's not many though, is there? But I don't mind that because it makes it more earthy, working class. It's a working class club when it comes down to it. Justin Chancellor supports Chelsea. I don't know Justin Chancellor, man. Okay. Milton Noberger, Spurs fans were perfect. Oh, no one's perfect, man. Tim Pereggi, oi, mate. G'day, man. Colin Cross. Well, my grandson plays for Gold Coast Knights. 2 years ago on his debut, won goal of the month. Bloody hell, man. And had 10 million viewings. Ha! I made Channel 7 News out there. Check it out. Hell of a goal. 2 years ago, Gold Coast Knights. Brilliant, man. That is fantastic. I've got a daughter who plays football, not at that level, but she's playing the level she's at, and they were champions this year. It's wonderful. Oh, hang on. David Shear. Suffering from mental issues here, I find those campaigns patronising. Me too, man. Me too. And I've got, all my life I've had severe depression and anxiety, and I just think they do no good whatsoever. Apart, they make people think that they're doing something. So I'm with you, man. I'm with you. You're doing well. I'm doing well. Me too, man. Me too. Loving your videos. Thanks, Thaddeus. Many thanks. Anyway, Spurs and Ange rock band. Yeah, I know. I know. Oh, here we go. You've done it again, Colin. Big Kutch. Well, what does that mean? I can't Google it. I'm on my phone. Oh, I hope it's not bad. Actually, I don't know any bad words in Welsh. That's not. I shouldn't have said that. Corby79. Paul, did you see the guy rolling down the banner after the Sheffield goal on the weekend? He fell a long way. I hope he's okay. No, I didn't, man. But on another note, and this again is something that they mentioned on View from the Lane podcast, and I'm going to have to go and look at this because it sounds brilliant, and I want to see how he did it. Chris Cowlin, who hopefully you've all seen him. It's a channel I really like watching, especially his post-game wrap-ups. But I like his 60-second Spurs update, in, out, done. But apparently what he was doing, and I find this funny because, he's kind of quite level when he's doing his channel and everything. But the Sheffield United team bus was going up the high road. So what he was doing, he was walking ahead of it, putting all the pedestrian crossings on, even though no one was crossing, just to time waste them as payback. And I think that's wonderful. Wonderful. So I will have to go and watch that one. Oh, Justin Chancellor says Chris plays for prog metal. Yeah, Tool don't grab me, man. Mate, yeah, no, I do. I know a friend of mine does artwork for them, but they're not one that's grabbed me, I'm afraid. Edward White of Oz, are you okay? Could be used to gaslight people. Yeah, absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. It's just so silly. I mean, look, the problem is, and I'm saying this is because I was a counsellor for years. It feels to me like there is less empathy in the world. That's all it comes down to, because we're not relating to each other through normal means, through childhood. There's helicopter parenting, which is stopping children relating to each other on their own level. I think empathy has decreased, and so I think that is, if someone's got a predilection for mental health conditions, that just exacerbates it. I think that's not all. I mean, I'm talking more about depression, anxiety. I'm not talking about things like schizophrenia or personality disorders, but the need for counselling or psychology, I think, is on the increase because there's less understanding out there, and not be judgmental. That's the main thing you've got to be in life, is don't be so judgmental of people. But I agree with you 100% there, Edward, man. Edwin Nobrega, who's going to be in NRL grand final? I don't know. Broncos, I don't know. I haven't followed the finals because my team's not in it. Tigara SPT, well said. Dave Sheeran Osborne. But even in 2023, mental health is still a subject of lip service. Yes. From a depression and PTSD diagnosed. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. I mean, probably a wrong word to use. But it is. I can't help but think that thousands of years ago there weren't many depressed people around. Paul, did you notice Dyer says Colin Cross was the only player that never went on the pitch? He kind of half-arsed it. He went on and came off. Again, you've done it to me again. I saw that, Paul. I don't know. I moved on. Sorry, David. I'm a very in the now person, David. Tot Spurs, hello, man. Big up, Paul and Chan. I'm looking forward to the derby. First time for a while. I believe we can go out there and get a result. I think you're right, man. I think you're absolutely right. Tigaro SPT, sympathy has replaced empathy. Yes, man. The downward spiral continues for too many people. I know. I know. Two very different things, sympathy and empathy. Callous caring, I would call it sometimes. Colin Cross Ange would tell them, let the scum worry about us. That's right, man. Like Danny Blanchflower says, if we don't know what we're going to do, how are they going to know? Dave Shear, treat people the way you want to be treated. It's exactly right, man. Exactly right. That's what I try and do. Don't always succeed because I'm a human being. I'm not perfect, but that basically is it, isn't it? Chris, Meta Football TV, I recommend two books, Myth of Normal and Lost Connections regarding mental health, depression, anxiety. All right, I will... how do I star? Can I star something? Because then I can look at it afterwards. There we go. There we go. I will... I'll have a look at the synopsis about that. Just like mental health or... Carl Rogers on Becoming a Person is a really good one. That's like your counselling handbook, but there's a lot of really good info. It just makes sense, man. Milton McGregor, Paul, if you have to sell two players and buy two players in January, who are they? Oh, God, you're asking me to think, man. Or Eric Dyer and Hugo Lloris, and two players I'd buy. Like, players aren't playing for Tottenham. I don't know too much about them. I don't know. I really don't know. That's another thing people don't like saying much. I don't know. I mean, there's so much I don't know. Corby 79. If Tottenham win the league, will you shave your beard? And you know, I've had comments like this. Why would I? I mean, what? No, I'll do what I want. I've had people say, "Oh, you're going to get attacked. You're going to shave your beard or get attacked." Why? The only reason I shave my beard, right? This is something that might happen. So it's nearly what you're after, Corby. Is that if we get to the FA Cup final, and I've, because my daughter has, she dyes her hair from time to time, so she knows what she's talking about. Worked out how to dye my beard blue and white. That's what I'm going to do. Now, if as a result of that, it looks a bit crappy afterwards, then it might get a trim or a bit of a shave. But I'm not going to shave my beard off. Like, if we win the league, will you run down the street naked? No, of course I won't. Going across also our team full of kids of no fear or respect. That's it. Yeah, the power of youth, man. Yes, that's a good point. I've forgotten. See, I can't remember shit. Someone earlier said that a lot of our team have not been in a derby before. So that and them being young, why not, man? It's in our favour. Tigaro, SBT. What's his? Too late for me to ask questions. It's quality beer, Paul. Keep it up. Yeah, I know, man. Well, shape a beard. This is like, how many years is it? I think it's 2 years. 2 years. And the weird thing is, it like got to this length after, I don't know, about a year, and it's kind of stabilised. I don't know, bits are falling out everywhere or whatever. Shave your beard off. Paul, will you slam your balls between two bricks? No, I won't. Never shave my beard. My daughter's calling me a Billy Goat. Well, that's a good reason to keep it, man. But I reserve the right to shave it whenever I feel like it. I feel like having it now. It's possible I could wake up tomorrow and feel like shaving it off, and I'll do so. Dr. Tottenham, we need a backup centre back. We sure do. We sure do. Rasputin? No, I'm not Rasputin. He was a bad dude, man. Bad dude. I mean, I'm not saying I'm good or bad, but he was pretty rough. All right, dudes. I'm going to... oh, I've got another starred comment. Man, oh, man. What's this? Oh, yeah, because I bookmarked Chris's book recommendations. All right. Well, folks, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks for being around. It's been cool. Lots of grist for the mill to chat about there. I love it. I love it. Really good fun. And got off on a couple of tangents, which I like as well. I like that. There's some things that are important in life to educate people about. People are people. We all just get along. All comes down to that. I'm a hippie, man. So I'm just queuing up the end video because I'm trying to be professional here. Oh, I can stretch my back a bit. I probably should have done this after I played the outro, but I felt like doing it now. Just like tomorrow, I might feel like shaving my beard, and then you'll all realise, oh my God, I've been watching a channel, and the guy's he's got no chin. I didn't expect him to be a chinless wonder. I know it's all a facade, as George Bush Jr. might say. But until next time, folks, thanks very much for your company. Thanks for watching. It's wonderful, and for people who've watched after the fact, there seems to be a lot of people doing that these days, which I appreciate it. I'm glad that I distract you from the of life a bit. And if you've clicked like and subscribe, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Thanks very much. And thanks to David Shear, who's come up for a month's membership as well. Until next time, folks, peace and love, man. Peace and love. Come on, you Spurs.